Telling you about my boyfriend who left me for a man. I don't know what I'm gonna title this by. Boyfriend who had a boyfriend, whatever juicy title I come up with. Oh, I'm so sorry, Tyreeka. Damn, I just smacked the crap out of Tyreeka. Y'all get the gist. I had a man and I caught him with a man. So let's get into it. First disclaimer, this did happen a while ago. Don't got nothing to do with my current boyfriend, obviously. Second thing is this wasn't actually my boyfriend. This was somebody I was talking to heavy. Y'all know how, you know, in high school I never had a boyfriend. Like, I never had a boyfriend in high school. Every person that I was with, or that, y'all know how we go in high school, or we talk. Like, we talk. But when you talk though, talking back in high school is like, oh, you talking, like, don't touch my man, we talk. Like, don't touch somebody who you talk to. The guy, we talked, and we talked for a long time. Like, this is my boo thing, my everything. Like, yeah, that was my boo. Okay, so I gotta come up with a code name. So the only real name in this story is gonna be my best friend Taylor. Y'all have heard me, we have the same name, so she said I can use her name in this story. So Taylor is the name I'm gonna use. That's
all right, man. We got another dusty story time for y'all, man, bro. All I can say is a lot of crazy stuff going on out here. So watch who y'all have around, y'all. But yeah, man, I ain't gonna hold y'all for too long. Let's get into this dusty story time because it's a dusty one. Let's get to it.
Real. Every other name is obviously gonna be fake. I don't want to put nobody out there, you know. Nice confidentiality and such. So we're gonna go with Kevin. So my boo thing was Kevin, and we was like this. Like, I mean, on the phone all the time, always hitting my phone in between classes, like skipping class together. Like, that was my boo, my everything. My cinnamon apple, like, that was my boo. You didn't tell me nothing. Everybody knew that too. Me and Kevin were messing around for maybe like 6 months. And by messing around, I was approved in school, so by messing around, we was like making out every once in a while. You know what I'm saying? I ain't open my legs until after high school, so he ain't get a piece of that, but he didn't want that anyway, so jokes on me. Give over the judge to when stuff started getting suspicious with us. Me and Kevin would hang out a lot. We both played sports, so we met up when we could. Everything with me and Kevin was so cool. I never got any red flags. The first red flag I did get was one day we was at lunch. So everybody was at the table. I was sitting with my boo Kevin, and my table used to be me, Kevin, my friends, his friends, all at the table. It was a room by a guy in my school named Thomas. So a rumor went around about Thomas, and Thomas was a mutual friend of all the rest of the football players in school. Rumor had went around that basically Thomas was gay. I am pro LGBT, and if y'all didn't know, I'm the B in LGBT. So for me,
yo, she's gay. You're gay. No, I think she's bi.
Anyway, back in high school, I didn't know that about myself, but I knew growing up, like, I never was one for hate. Like, so me and Taylor are at the lunch table, and these guys start talking about Thomas. They was like, yeah, did you hear about Thomas? Like, oh, I heard Thomas is gay, and he used to mess with blah, 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 blah. And so, you know, it was tea still. So we like, oh my gosh, that's crazy. Like, I would never have expected Thomas, blah, blah, blah. So out of all of our guy friends, my boo, Kevin, was closest to Thomas. So everybody started questioning Kevin. Excuse me, Kevin, that's your man's, ain't it? Da, 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 da. And so the first red flag to any person in the closet is the extra homophobia. Like, you just angry. Like,
did somebody say gay? Who's gay? Not me. I'm not gay. It's for gay people. I'm not gay. Maybe you're gay. I don't mess with Tyrone. You're gay. I'm not gay.
That should have been the first red flag. And I had never seen that side of him before. So he going off. He like, I'm not with that gay stuff. Stop playing. Just blew up, like, basically. So me and Taylor looked at each other like, why he doing all that? And so, you know, I'm telling him, like, calm down. Like, I don't know why you doing all that. Like, they just joking around. Like, they not really, like, playing. They just playing with you. And so he starts blowing up. I mean, face turning, colors just going crazy at the lunch table. Like, and the boys just, the other players, they just eating it up. They like, oh my gosh, this nigga tripping and he geeking, blah, blah, blah. And yeah, so I didn't look at the first red flag as he was gay. I looked at the first red flag as, oh, like, he's just doing too much, you know. Y'all know the history and how homophobia is ingrained in the black community, all of that. So that's just how I looked at it. So fast forward, after that lunch, we had a conversation and talking about what happened at lunch led to us, you know, breaking up, or we stopped talking, I should say. So we stopped talking for like a week. Like, it was cold, the trail went cold for like a week. So basically we had stopped talking for a week, and after we stopped talking, you know, I had started talking to somebody else. I'm tired of using the word talking. I'm so glad that as an adult I would never do nothing like that, but you know, kids, if you decide to talk to somebody in school, don't do it. It's a trap. I guess because it was I was openly talking to somebody else and people knew, he decided he wanted to bang down my door on some, oh, what you back, so cool, you know, cool, we got back together. He had a car, I didn't. So what he did was, when he wanted to talk, he had pulled up to my place, which was only maybe 10 minutes from his, but pulled up to my place, and we stayed in the car because my parents ain't play that, wasn't no boys in the house. We stayed in the car, we talked, and yeah, you know, made up, I guess. And this is the detail that I want to say. So he made up with me on a Friday night. On Friday was when a lot of the football players and the guys would like hang out and stuff at the one guy Tyler's house. So Tyler lived maybe like 35 minutes out, whatever. He had a nice house, so that's where all the guys and stuff would hang out. So I knew that that's probably where he was about to go. Boo, you know, I'm about to, you know, go hang out at Tyler's. So I'm like, oh, okay, cool. Like, you know, me being a dum-dum, I'm like, oh my gosh, okay, boo, I'll see you tomorrow. He leaves, 5 minutes go by, and I get a text, and it's from Kevin. And Kevin is like, I'll be there in 5. Huh? I am doing calculations in my head. I'm like, carry the 1, take away the 2. You just left my house 5 minutes ago, and you're texting someone saying you're gonna be there in 5 minutes. Last I checked, you're 5 minutes around the corner from me. So if you would have been on your way home, texting someone, that would make sense. And Tyler's house is 35 minutes away. So the math is just not mathing here. It is just not mathing. So I called my best friend Taylor before I do anything irrational. I called my best friend Taylor. I'm like, a bitch, I just got a text message from Kevin saying that he was gonna be here in 5 minutes. And she was like, is he gonna be there in 5 minutes? I'm like, girl, no, he just left my house. And she was like, what? She was like, is he going? And cause her boyfriend, how am I gonna call her boyfriend? I'm gonna call her boyfriend Michael. Her boo Michael also goes to Tyler house and stuff. So she was like, what? She was like, what you mean? I'm like, she was like, if he just left, she was like, ain't he going to Tyler house? She's like, maybe he's meant to text Tyler. I was like, sis, Tyler lives 35 minutes away from us. She was like, you right, he do, that don't make no sense. So, you know, my sis being a ride or die that she is, she was like, you want to pull up? I didn't have a car, but she did. So I'm like, you damn skippy, I want to pull up. So I texted him back and I'm like, did you mean to send me this? He was like, oh no, my bad, I meant to send it to Tyler.
I am fucking fuming!
So I texted him back, I'm like, how you gonna be at Tyler house in 5 minutes? He was like, you know I drive fast. I must have had dumb broad written on my forehead. So I don't act crazy. I know how to properly, you know, do a pull-up. So I'm like, okay, boo, I'll see you tomorrow.
Do a pull-up.
I'll see you tonight. Taylor pulls up and she tells me, she's like, all right, girl, let's get down there. You know, do you want me to call Michael to see, like, if he can give me some insight? I said, girl, do you really think Michael is about to rat out Kevin? Come on now. You know dang on well that's not about to happen. She's like, okay, cool. She was like, I left my laptop at Michael's, so I'm gonna go to Michael's first. I was like, you can go to, I was like, Michael not home. She was like, no, it's fine. She was like, I'm cool, real cool with his grandmother. His grandmother said that, you know, I can come pick it up. I was like, did you text her tonight? She's like, no, I texted her earlier. I was supposed to come get it earlier, but I'm gonna just come and get it tonight. She said I can come over whatever, and it's not super late. So we drive to Michael's house, which is also in the neighborhood. Like, all of us basically live within like a 10-minute radius from each other. I'm hot in the car. I'm like, girl, when I pull up, like, if he's not there, I swear I'm gonna, and then it's like, I don't even really know what I'm gonna do because I don't know where this nigga is at this point. It was no, we didn't have locations and stuff on back then. So we pull up to Michael's house. Taylor knocks on the door. Michael's grandmother answers. Now Taylor asked me to come up there because even though she knows his family, y'all know it can still be awkward. Like, she's like, I know them, but you know, I would feel comfortable if you came in there with me because I'm usually with Michael when I go in there. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. The grandmother answers the door. She's like, how y'all doing? Da, da, da. She didn't know me. I was like, I'm Taylor, and you know, every time somebody find out both our names is Taylor, it's just a whole thing. She's like, y'all got the same name. name of your sisters? She tells her, she's like, yeah, the laptop is up in Michael's room. You can go up in there and grab it. So we go upstairs and the door's locked. Taylor's like, if Michael not here, why would his bedroom door be locked? Taylor gets to rattling the door handle. And so once we shook the door handle a little bit, we hear rattling in the room, right? So I'm like, what the freak is going on? I'm like, girl, I thought Michael was at Tyler. She's like, I did too. Obviously, Michael's in the room. So you can hear him moving around stuff, like whispering, and we like, he in there with somebody. At this point, Taylor goes crazy. She's like, open the door, da da da. So I'm like, Taylor, keep it down so the grandmother don't hear you. She won't come up here. So she was like, open the door, Michael. I hear you in there. Open the door. She banging on the door. So we like whisper yelling at this point because the grandmother was downstairs. She had church music blasting. So we knew that it was going to take a lot for us to hear her. She was already hard of hearing, God bless her. Taylor starts going in. She's like, open the door, open the door, open the door. So we hear a rattling going on in the room. And so Taylor, you know, he had one of those locks. One of those, how can I describe the locks? It's probably a way, it's probably something that this lock is called, and I'm probably messing it up. But the lock is like this. Like you can put a coin in there and go like that. So that's the kind of lock it was. So we put the coin, so I had a coin. I put the coin in there and I went like that. So we unlocked the door and bust it open. So when we get in there, right? What does this look like to you? Michael's sitting there, pants unzipped. He got clothes on, but pants unzipped so we could see the boxes peeking through. And he got his hand on the closet door like this. Like, why are you here? And she like, why am I here? Nigga, why are you here? You're supposed to be at Tyler's house at the game night and you're here at your house. So he was like, yeah, I had to come back to the house to grab some stuff. That's why I was rattling around. I thought you was my grandmother trying to come in here because she's always trying to bust in here. And so me and Taylor like, we give each other that look. And he was like, yeah, I just came back here because I had to grab. And he made up some excuse what he had to grab. I don't even remember what he said he had to grab. And he was like, she was like, it was so dire that you had to drive another 35 minutes and then another 30. Like, it's just not making sense. It's so funny how when stuff like this go on, the friend don't ever talk to the guy. She always hype up the girl. So I'm like, oh, but Taylor, I'm just trying to figure out why his hand on that door. And so Taylor was like, you right. Why is your hand on the door?
What you mean? Who hand on the door? My hand not on the door. Maybe your hand on the door.
Because his hand was like on the closet door. First of all, if he didn't want nobody to go in the closet, the last thing he should have did was put his hand on that damn closet door. I don't know if he was mid-closing it when we walked in there, but he had his hand on the closet door. So obviously, every cheating scenario, it's a half-naked hoe in the bathroom. I mean, not in the bathroom, in the closet door. So he's like, I was just leaning in the closet. It's not that big of a deal. So Taylor was like, runs and rushes past me and tries to open the door, but Michael too quick for all that. So he had his hand on the door. So me being a ride or die I was like, girl, you know it's another girl in here. So I start going through Michael's stuff. He's like, what are you doing? Get your friend, get your friend. And she was like, don't talk to my friends like that. So I'm going through Michael's stuff. I'm ripping through drawers. I'm ripping through pants. I'm just trying to find some evidence of a woman being there, like some shoes, a bra, a left nipple pad, something to indicate there is a woman in here, because logically in my head I'm thinking if there's a girl in here. Then I start, like, my mind starts putting pieces together and I'm like, how would she have gotten up here past the grandmother? Like, so many questions was going on in my head, but I wasn't really worried about the questions at the time because I'm trying to help my sis. I had completely forgot about, you know, Kevin trifling, cheating behind, and I was like, you know what, we gonna deal with mine in a second. Let's get my sis out the way. So I'm digging through her stuff and I'm like, girl, I don't see nothing. She must have everything in the closet. So I run over to the closet too and I help my sis. So Michael was pretty strong, but he's not strong enough to hold the closet door for both of us. Like, come on now, look at this. We pulled. It did take a little tugging, you know. Michael was an athlete, so you know it took a little teamwork and a little elbow grease. But we get the door open, and when we get that goddamn door open, guess what girl in the closet? Just guess what girl in the closet. You're wrong. It was a man, and the man was Kevin. Literally, it was like something out of a soap opera, because the silence in that room, you could hear a fly fart in that bitch. It was so quiet. And you would think, like, so what? Kevin was in the closet. Why would you even assume? Like, Taylor, you just making assumptions. I am not making assumptions. My boo-boo, Kevin, was in the closet. Drawers. Nothing but the drawers on. And then you see Michael here with the pants undone. We obviously know who was the top and who was the bottom. So that's a whole nother conversation. But Kevin with shirt, no shoes, no pants, just drawers. Looking like a cheap hooker. Looking like a cheap hooker. And he had the most doo-doo look on his face. And I really say, and I'm like, so here I am thinking that here we are. I'm sorry, not just me. Here me and my sis are thinking that we're getting cheated on and we were gonna find a hussy in Michael's closet and I was gonna pull up on Kevin and find some hoe at his house, and Kevin is the hoe. Kevin is the hoe and Michael is the hussy. It was just not making sense. Like, I was trying to think of every logical explanation, like, and then Kevin was stuttering. I mean, Michael was stuttering, beatboxing. It's just
motherfucking, down.
And then Kevin was just sitting there looking cheap. Everything I wanted to say out my mouth just couldn't come out. Like, you know what's crazy? If it was a girl in there, I'd have been like, you got me fake, you got my sis messed up, da, da, da. But it's just something about finding this kind of situation where you really just don't know what to say. I feel like his grandmother just magically popped into the room. She come up there and she's like, what's going on in here? And so me and Taylor was like, I don't even know what's going on. And so his grandmother assumed that we all was on some freaky stuff. Like, Taylor was trying to get down with Mike while I was trying to get down with Kevin, like maybe on some orgy stuff. And she was like, no, I cannot believe y'all being this way in my house while I'm right here and blah, 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 blah. And we was like, listen, we gonna call her Miss Johnson. I was like, listen, Miss Johnson, we just came up here for the laptop and this is what we found. Kevin was in the closet, both literally and metaphorically, and I don't know what's going on. We're just gonna go. Taylor's gonna grab her laptop. I'm sorry, like, we gotta go. And so we, like, literally, we ran out that house so fast. We sit in front of Michael's house for a good 10 minutes and we exchanged the loudest silence in the history of silence. Like, every word that came out of our mouth was a bitch. Cause a bitch. Like, it was nothing else for us to say. Like, so 10 minutes go by, what felt like 5 years, as we really sit here trying to process everything. And I see Kevin running outside, fully clothed this time, thank God. Come running outside and he banging on my side of the window. So I rolled the window down, but I only rolled it down like that. So it was like a little crack for him to talk. And so he was like, I just want to talk to you. Can you get out? Let's talk privately. I'm like, privately for what? Like, we all just experienced this together. I'm like, at this point we need group counseling. Like, I don't really know what you need to go talk in private for. So y'all know what he said to me? Just guess.
Yeah, you're not gonna tell nobody, are you? You ain't gonna say nothing at school or nothing to nobody, right? Right, Taylor?
He said, please don't tell nobody. I say, excuse me? So you just sucked me into an emotional roller coaster, and the first thing you got to say is, please don't tell nobody. I asked Taylor, I said, Taylor, roll the window down a little bit more. Yeah, I did it. Domestic violence, that was me. Domestic violence, that was me. I was disrespected. Me today wouldn't do that. But I was so disrespected. My hand, like, I was saying one thing, but my hand wanted to say something else. Like, so I popped them on the lip. It was bleeding a little bit. But, you know, God forgive me. I was just disrespected. Like, you're telling me you're going to a boys' game night. And you're going to a game night, all right. You're going to a game night. I just wasn't the kind that I thought it was gonna be. Then Michael came out there, tried to talk to Taylor. Taylor pulled the car away before Michael could get there. She thought that if she saw Michael that she might fight him, which I understood because my first instinct was to pop Kevin, so I completely understood. So we get back, we meet up at school, and we see Michael and Kevin, and they just got the most ghost looking face. They just know they about to walk into school and the whole school about to know what's going on. Little do they know, I don't got time to be spreading rumors or to be telling people about business and what was going on. So we never told anybody that what happened with that. But you know, life comes full circle. Crazy part is later on in the year there was a rumor. It wasn't started by us, and we didn't tell anybody. Me and her to this day took it to the grave, and people still wouldn't know that it was us that were talking about. But later on there was an additional rumor. There was another rumor about them doing something, and as soon as it came back to me and Taylor, I was like, oh, that's crazy. Oh, I guess we were cover-ups. That's all I could say. I didn't even feed into the rumor. I could have been like, you know what, it's true, we saw it by our own eyes, but we ain't even do that. I ain't do it. Listen, that ain't my business.
She lied. They definitely started the room. You can tell the way she drinking that water. Hey, but that's crazy.
If me and Taylor, because I remember one time me and Taylor tried to make a double date with us on a Friday night. We was like, oh, we should go to movies on Friday because on Saturday we had Saturday morning practice and all sorts of stuff, so we didn't have any other way to do it. So let's do a double date on a Friday. And they was so adamant. They was like, you know we can't miss guys' night. Clearly we know why guys' night was so important to Kevin and Michael. I wish them the best. There's really no moral to the story. I mean, well, there is a moral to the story. Don't, you know, obviously they homophobes and, you know, for multiple reasons, not just that. And please.
No, I never heard of a guys' night, bro. Like, I've never been to anything called guys' night. Like, that's just, nope. That's just not my thing. I mean, if I have two, like, single, if I was single, if I'm single and I got the opportunity to be with some breezies versus a guys' night, that wouldn't even be a question. So, yeah, I'm pretty sure you should have known something was going on.
LGBT bashing in the comments, but this was a very interesting story. I guess I can see why he was so comfortable with us not doing anything. One relief I will say that came from dating Kevin in high school was he was never pushy about sex, because I was always a prude in school. So I will say that he is the one guy that did not pressure me. He did not pressure me in school to have sex with him, but I guess I know why. He was getting it elsewhere. I guess I didn't think of it like that. I guess that's why he never pressured me. But good for him. No guy should pressure you anyway. Good for him. Guess he was pressuring Michael though, because they was getting down. He was full down. Kevin was full down to the drawers. Yeah, that's the end of this story. Me and Kevin actually was still cool. It took us a while, but you know, when I say cool, the cool is really like, it's a really strong word. Like we was cool. Like we were in a group setting and he was there. Like we would kiki a little bit because we was good friends. I'll say that we was good friends. That's one thing. Another things that me and my best friend Taylor have in common other than our names. Like, comment, subscribe. I hope you guys enjoyed this video.
Yeah, but hey, man, this too prevalent, because I done did so many videos on like situations like that. That showed you how prevalent it is out here. So females, y'all better watch out. And dudes, boy, it's crazy. That's all I'm gonna say. But yeah, man, y'all be safe out here, kings and queens. Always remember, hey, be safe out here, kings and queens. Let's get it.